sport itself is insane. It's swinging razor blade axes.
That block is off already.
If it was the biggest, strongest guy to win the 6 disciplines, I would probably win 95% of the time.
Quick to the wood is Jason Wentz.
Athleticism and precision and mental focus trump strength anytime.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of mental stress. And you're just staring at that piece of wood in front of you, and it's like, how am I going to dissect this the fastest, most efficient way?
16 competitors, 2 pools, and only 8 spots remaining to advance to the 2025 STIHL TIMBERSPORTS US Championships.
Just exceptional choppers. Very aggressive. Man, was he shifting timber. This is going to get real serious in a hurry. Go!
Welcome one and all to this special weekend, the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS US Championships for 2025. We're just about ready for the final piece of the puzzle to find the last 4 qualifiers for tomorrow's championship final in our Pool C action. It is moments away, but right now let's bring out our fantastic host, a legend in lumberjack sports, so many titles, so many records, so many fans around the world. We're big fans of this man right here, Super Dave Jewett.
I couldn't even wait. I couldn't wait, Tommy. Yeah, he called me Super Dave Jewett. I somehow got that nickname competing in STIHL TIMBERSPORTS for the 25 years I competed in the original extreme sport. Milwaukee German Fest, 45th year of the German Fest. So we decided, let's come back to celebrate STIHL TIMBERSPORTS 40th anniversary. It has just been crazy. We've done Pool A, Pool B. We're looking for 12 men to move into the finals. We need 4 more. That's what you're about to see, but stick around. 8 o'clock this evening will be the national championships for the women's division. Then tomorrow, 2 o'clock, absolutely, 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, the men's finals. I'm going to be calling the show today, but I'm going to need a little help. I have one of the best announcers in the world helping me out, bringing the energy, hitting the high notes. Let's bring him out, Dave Johns.
Let's go German Fest! Who's ready for Pool C action? Oh, come on! There's some beers flowing. I see the good vibes. There are plenty of lederhosen out there. Who's ready for Pool C action? It sounds like they're ramped up, Dave. Are you ramped up?
Yeah, this is the loudest crowd, but the competitors that are going to be coming out, their fans are here. They're the craziest, but none of this would happen without our sponsors, John Deere and STIHL, and of course the guys calling it to the live stream up there center stage. Hey guys, that's Kevin Holtz and Tommy Sanders. Say hi.
Hey. Thank you so much, Dave and Kevin. The final 8 here. 5. We're only taking 4 to the finals. We got our favorites. We got our dark horses. Why don't you run them down for us?
Yeah, I'm really looking at 2 names, and of course the one that rises to the top every single time is Jason Lentz. Past champion, he's done the work, he's put in the effort, he knows what it takes to take the title here in STIHL TIMBERSPORTS. You heard in that little promo feature, he said, you know, if the biggest and strongest guy won every time, I'd win pretty much every time. But he's got to have the mental focus behind it, and he's got a tough field to go against, mainly in the form of this man, Matty Slingerland. I call him, he's got the bridesmaid award. He's been so close so many times, and he has the skills, he has the tools. It just has to fall together for him, and this could be the year to do it. Ben Nicely, this guy was literally in the gutter earlier today. Actually, I just talked to him past the tent. He was sitting on the curb, but doing well, cutting exceptionally well, very focused and mature here this year in Milwaukee.
All right, thank you so much, Kevin. The ones to watch, there they are, and we're going to get to meet them all right now. Back to you, Dave.
Dave, we have our 8 athletes ready to go. Let's bring them out, bud.
All right, here we go. His first time here in Milwaukee on the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series stage since he was a collegiate athlete. Let's hear it from Stratford, New Hampshire, William Jones.
Brad Jones. And coming from Amsterdam, New York, big Milwaukee welcome for Tyler White.
In his final year of STIHL TIMBERSPORTS from Snoqualmie, Washington, let's hear it for David Moses!
And he's back from Charleston, West Virginia. Big round of applause for Arden Koger Jr.
Coming to you from Marysville, Ohio, Grant Foreman.
And from Matthews, North Carolina, Ben Nicely.
From Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Maddie Slingerland.
He's won the national titles. He's won the world title from Diana, West Virginia, Jason Lance. And let's bring out our head judges, Rich Hallett, Chris Alba, and Jules Jensen. Oh, they always get booed here. They always boo them in Milwaukee. They love it.
All right, let's give one big final applause for all of our Pool C athletes. Springboard coming up next.
Springboard. Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees, climbing up over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete then climbs up to chop through a 27-centimeter thick block of wood in the fastest time possible.
First event, springboard chop, one of the most extreme events in all of timber sports, climbing 9 feet up these beautiful tulip poplar poles coming out of Virginia this year. All right, first heat getting set up. On position 1, we have Brad Jones. On position 2, Tyler White.
Some of the guys have just been, I was talking with Mark McQuinn and some of the athletes we just saw in Pool B, just talking about
William Jones, known as Brad Jones, on stand number 1 there, Stratford, New Hampshire, via the University of Maine, where he picked up his, started his career in chopping and sawing. Go to him, it's Tyler White, Galway, New York. Cobalt skill. His undergraduate work was done there. Was 10th in the trophy in 23.
Yeah, and Tommy, I'm very much queued up on stand number 1. I want to see what Brad does in the springboard. He is joining us, first year professional ranks, came out of the collegiate series. This 2-board springboard does not exist as a collegiate event. So these guys, especially Brad in this case, we're getting our first taste. Yeah. He's getting his first taste. We're going to see what he can do.
Well, we've been surprised before, so.
Yes.
Athletes ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
So many things to go right, so many things that can go wrong in this springboard event. You essentially have 3 chops here, 2 small chops in the form of springboard pockets, and then the big job, cutting off that white pine block at the top. You're sort of handicapped in a way where you can only work from the strong-handed side through maybe 80-90% of the block. Then you have to turn on the off-handed side to either slash or chop the remaining timber. Both these guys have good first board sets, nice and level, a little bit of upslope there for Tyler White, puts that spring in the springboard. They are struggling though with that second board set. Tyler White, second board is now in. Brad had to go back, he had the heel and toe buried in that second board set, and the axe was hung really bad. Tyler White with about a 5 or 6 blow advantage into the top of this log. Tyler actually spanning that axe a little bit poorly. He's putting hits into the middle of that block instead of a very clear, distinct. There it is on this round though. Now he's picking up the near and far, letting a little bit of metal hang out both sides of that log, and it clears those chips. He had a few hits where he wasn't quite clearing the near wood. There he goes again. He's going into a 3-hit rotation. I feel like that axe should span it. Brad Jones into the back though, the rookie getting ready to drive off this block. There it is.
Got it.
Wow, a 126 in his first efforts here on the professional stage. That says something for the integrity of that first board set for Tyler White. It collapsed under his weight as he came back down out of that tree.
Yes.
Held good enough to get the job done, I guess.
Yeah, it's better now than then.
We'll get a quick word with Brad Jones. He had that 4-hit bottom pocket, and then the wheels fell off a little bit. I would have liked to have seen Tyler get farther down on that board. He had perfect bottom board, he was crunched up to the tree.
Both cuts are good.
Now we'll see it on the replay, Dave. Tyler's bottom board is perfect, but you have to get to the back of it to look into that top board. Let's talk with Brad Jones right now. Brad Jones. Brad, buddy, hey, 4 hits, bottom pocket. You were off and running. What happened, Dave? And I really couldn't see it. We're going to see it on the replay here. What happened on the top pocket?
Yeah, I tried to get back and get set on that first board. There was a chip stuck at the back of the first pocket. Tried to flick it out. It already committed, so there was a wall in the back. Put two hits in the top pocket. My board sagged, so I had to get closed up, which changed the presentation that I had for the axe. So messed around with that for a while.
Tough event. Good big round of applause for Brad Jones. Tough event right out of the gates. Let's watch the replay here.
Brad, here you go. Talk about this.
Well, here's that opening pocket for Brad Jones. Clean, professional 4-hit pocket. Not much of a flick. There it is. Not much of a flick of the axe on that 4th hit. He had to go back with a little finger broom and clean out the chips in the back. But he didn't. I don't think he really trusted it. He didn't get back on that first board. I'm critiquing Brad Jones, though, like he's been a 6-year timber sports athlete. I wish I cut boards like that coming out of college. Tough sledding in that second pocket, though, where he got both the heel and toe of the axe stuck. Did a great job rolling in those hits. It was probably some pretty tough hits there as he got into the middle of that log and got very perpendicular to the grain. Drove it off clean in the back, though. Brad Jones, a 126 in his first appearance on the big stage. That is epic.
Yeah, not a bad debut at all for the man from New Hampshire there. Tyler White coming in with 141.60. 3 more heats left to go on the springboard.
And look how close he is up to the pole. No need for that. Got to get back to the pole. And let's go with Heat 2 of the springboard. David Moses versus Arden Koger Jr.
David Moses in the lineup again. He says for the last time. David in his 60s now. Great career in timber sports. The Chopper and Sawyer from Washington State. Sort of one of the alternates for a position that Adam Lethko had to vacate coming in here. So we're looking forward to seeing a couple of veterans go at it here, going up against Arden Koger Jr.
Yeah, and the whole this is his last go, that's not new news. I was actually talking to his wife, and David decided last year, he turned 60, this was going to be his last year no matter what. Did not make it in. He was first alternate. As you mentioned, Adam Lethko unable to make it. David got the call Tuesday afternoon in Washington State. Tuesday night started the 29-hour drive here to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to join us here on the stage for one last go. And he's been up against this man many times. Arden Koger Jr.
3, 2, 1, go!
Both of these guys know exactly what needs to happen in this springboard event. Now they just got to execute it. Arden looking a little bit spray in that bottom pocket, just kind of putting hits in around. Oh, that's a disaster of a pocket for Arden Coker Jr. I'll give him a hug later and tell him it's okay, but I can't varnish that truth. No. That is a disaster of a first pocket. I hate having those steps in the top of that pocket. Upstairs is looking much cleaner. That's a great looking pocket for Arden Coker. A little bit of a lip of wood. I hope that doesn't tear on him, but I think he'll be all right. Wow, he just pulled that together. Looking much better in that top pocket. David Moses springing up to his second board as well. Not feeling quite as confident as Arden Coker Jr. is. David Moses has some really tough slows. He's scooching in even closer to the block. That's a perfect camera shot. Look at the contrast between David Moses, his left foot on the clip, maybe 6 inches from the log. Arden Coker Jr. well back on the board, able to extend the swing and put some power behind it. Arden Coker Jr. on the backside of the log, a switch-handed cutter. Again, David Moses, unfortunately, just choked up, just absolutely handicapped his swing by not having a solid second board set. David Moses looking for all the points he can get. Springboard, not one that I'm sure he was banking on gaining a lot of points, but clock is ticking and points are waning away. Drawing a chip, now he can go into more of a slashing action if he can get that near wood to break. He's so choked up on that block.
One more ought to do it for that. No, just missed on that one. There we go.
Not the cut David Moses wanted to open his day with.
We'll see what Jamie has to say here after this springboard shot. Ruling here, Judge Rich Howell.
Both cuts are good.
Yeah,
Jamie Coker, we'll get a quick word from him. How you feeling, buddy? Yeah? Talk about that chop. It's a tough event. You're a big guy to be up there 9 feet in the air, but you did it. You got good points, a good time.
You know, folks, you all out there, the combined age of the two fellows who just competed for you is 116 years. How about that? Lumberjack sports, timber sports is for all walks of life, male, female, young, and old. Power to everyone who wants to try this. Thank you all for coming out.
Thanks, Jamie. Well, the stocks are coming up. We'll see him again soon. Jamie Coker, I believe, in the lead right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a look at this replay here. Arden Coker Jr.
Well, it was a story of two pockets, Tommy. Pocket number one, absolute chaos for Arden Coker Jr. Look at the series of steps, and there you can see he actually stuffed it in and hit one of those upper walls, kicked a chip out. Let's just get past that, though. Leave that one behind. The second pocket, though, we had a great angle here. Needed to pick up just a tiny amount of wood there on the top, but again, great clean pocket. I'd go on that all day long, and he knew it. You even see as he jumped off that first board, the sag there. That second board held beautiful, though, for him.
The two ageless ones putting on a show for us there. Arden Coker taking the lead, as a matter of fact, with his 1 minute, 19.10 seconds there. David Moses' official time, 2.03.18. So 2 heats down in our first discipline of the day. That's the springboard chop. Boy, this is a great one to get behind you. It takes every bit of skill you got, all your endurance and everything else. But we will continue on. 2 more heats coming up in that, and of course 5 more disciplines right after that to define our 4 top finishers from Pool C. So we'll take a quick break here in Milwaukee, and we will be right back. 40 years celebrating the ultimate, the original extreme sport, and taking that sport worldwide. STIHL TIMBERSPORTS kind of got its go here in America 40 years ago, and man, it's all over the globe now. And we have got plenty more on the way. Pool C action, trying to find our last 4 qualifiers for the final championship round coming up here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time. I think we're ready to get going with our next heat.
Heat 3 of the springboard. Let's bring them out. Grant Foreman and Ben Nicely.
Grant Foreman's going to be on stand number 1. Grant Foreman, the engineer from Marysville, Ohio, the veteran. He's been to these championships many times. I think his best finish I think it was 5th place back in 2022. That's right. Grant Foreman going up against Ben Nicely. Very, very tough competitor from North Carolina. Seems to be improving year over year for a long, long time here. 11 years competing.
I think this will be a great race between these 2 guys. Grant Foreman, to me, is like new Mike Esch. Their engineering, their precision, their study of the sport, but at the same time, one of the things that, and I bet they'll both admit it, that sometimes you just gotta let the dogs run, not worry about it being absolutely perfect and perfectly engineered.
Athletes ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And of course, Ben Nicely, we've watched him come out of the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS collegiate ranks into the professional ranks. Family man now. He's been around for a decade. It just blows my mind.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, and I don't like that shelf of wood in Ben Nicely's bottom pocket. And you see there it is. There's the sag, and I think it's going to continue to dip. Inside that pocket, there's a little shelf of wood on the top lip, the ceiling of that cave, and it is just crushing under the weight of Ben Nicely. Grant Foreman has a great board hole. Got to slam that thing to the back a little more. Get up there, Grant. Let's get that axe moving. Ben Nicely's first board is going to hold long enough, at least, it seems, so he can exit that first board. Much more comfortable in that second board. Now he's got to get that axe speed going. Stop resting it. Boy, that axe is just loving that block all the way to the maker's mark. Great looking cuts from both these guys. The precision, there it is from Grant Foreman. There's Grant Foreman into the backside. He's got the work done. Look at that driving blow on the front side. Sliced all the way in. Great finish from Grant Foreman. Arm pump 109 showing is his unofficial time. Nice, I was say Nicely maybe has 2 more blows. There's 1 more blow of the axe for Ben Nicely. Ben's got to be careful jumping out of there. That first board got him to the second board, but just barely.
Both cuts are good.
Yeah, Grant is pumped up. That's about as much as a smile as you normally see out of Grant.
Yeah, I love the
stage.
fist bump. I love the emotion. Unleash of power, unleash of emotion with Grant Foreman. Grant, come on over here, buddy. I talked to you an hour ago, and you were concerned about your back issues. How's your back feeling now?
A lot better.
Are you able to phase that out when you're up on that top board? It's just a beautiful cut. Your accuracy, your slope, one of the best springboards, and you brought it to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of earlier competitors were having some trouble with their pockets. I slowed down, tried to put the hits in right, made sure I had good pockets so I could cut with strength on top.
You're leading the field, buddy. Congratulations. Get ready for the stock saw. There you go.
Let's watch this replay, Dave. Yeah, here they go.
There's a great shot of these two going head to head. The struggles of Ben Nicely. He was putting in hits, big power, but there was that shelf. You can see he tries to sweep it out, There's that shelf of wood in the back though, and it just absolutely crushes down. Grant Foreman, he set his axe so hard in that tulip poplar pole, he almost couldn't get it out. The first board set though, rock solid. Second one gets up. You can see he's a little bit ginger getting back there, but once he gets back on the board, realizes it's good, he just lays waste to that white pine block at the top. We haven't mentioned it here in this pool and maybe in a while, but one of the interesting things about springboard is this is the only event where you need one axe to cut two different species of wood. So you've got probably a fresher, greener tulip poplar log and maybe a drier white pine log up top. You need one tool that will cut both pieces of timber, hopefully equally as well.
Well, year before last, Grant Foreman qualified for the finals, the final championship. He's off to a good start right here. He holds the lead with only one heat remaining in the springboard with his official time of 1:08.71.
Who wants one of these? Oh, absolutely.
Heat number 4 of the springboard, the final heat. Let's bring him out. Jason Lentz versus Maddie Slingerland.
Should be a good one here. Jason Lentz on stand number 1, former champion here, former international champion, world champion. Matt Slingerland, who has been so close to winning this championship so many times.
I don't know if you just saw that, Tommy. We talked about the rule change this year, but Jason Lentz just slammed his board up against the pole to try to set it into the bark so it doesn't slide around. The other board skidded right off the side of the pole. Previously, competitors have been allowed to put 2 nails in, one on either side of their springboard shoe to hold the board in place. That has been erased as an option. Sandbags are the only thing they're allowed to use. So obviously marquee matchup here, Tommy. These are the two best in the pool at this discipline. I've been watching Maddie Slingerland for years just be right there in terms of championship rankings. This is a chance right here for him now to get some points over Jason Lentz. Oh, and he was right there on the go. Here's 3, there's 4. He tries to sweep it, it's not there. He's going in 6, 7, trying to fix that pocket. He is behind in the race to Jason Lentz. Jason has a great looking first board set. Maddie Slingerland had to put some extra effort into it, but he's got a great looking board now as well. Now Jason struggles on board set number 2. He is bored in deep though. Looks like a good clean pocket. Leaps from that first board up to the second. He will be at least 4 to 5 hits ahead of Maddie Slingerland. Jason Lentz excels in that block at the top. Maddie really needed a better climb. Jason Lentz absolutely crushing this block at the top. He doesn't want to hear anything about, oh, Maddie Slingerland's into the back though. Maddie is strong, switch-handed cutter. It's gonna be Jason Lentz, Maddie Slingerland about 2 hits behind. What a race. race. I was turned my attention to Jason Lentz for just a moment, and Maddie bails out of the front side of his log. He is an exceptionally strong switch-handed cutter and can do more damage in the back of that log than most people can, and he bailed on the front, got into that back, super strong, almost reeled Jason Lentz in as Jason was slashing away at the back of his block.
Unofficially, our only 2 sub-1 minute rounds. Sub-1 minute heat efforts. And Maddie's got to be wondering how much better it would have been if he hadn't had so much trouble with the climb.
The answer to that, Tommy, is much.
Way.
Much.
Way better.
Much
Yeah.
and way
Thank you.
better.
Thanks for the clarification.
Both cuts are good.
Yeah!
Let's get a word with Jason Lentz. You're not going anywhere. No panic express, 4-hit bottom pocket, beautiful, little trouble in the top pocket, no panic expression one bit. And right before you went, you kind of just loosened your arm up and you got yourself loose. How important is that? And talk about that top pocket.
Yeah, it's real important to stay loose, Dave. When the nerves are going, the first event, it doesn't take much to misplace the axe. So, yeah, I just try to shake it out there. And, yeah, the top pocket, the poles were a bit firm, in my opinion. So, yeah, my opening hits didn't do what I wanted them to, and I just wanted to make a good sure cut. So.
A great cut. You're in the lead in the springboard. You're going to win the springboard, buddy, in around 52 seconds. Matty Sling was reeling you in a little on the backside, but no panic. Big round of applause to our winner, Jason Lentz.
Look at this replay, Dave.
Well, margin for improvement for Maddie Slingerland. It looked good, like 4 hits where he's going to get it done, but his 4th hit came in a little low. You also heard Jason Lentz say these poles are a little firmer than they thought they would be. They're not getting the penetration of the axe. 4 hits was enough, though, for Jason Lentz on that first pocket. Great-looking board set, nice, stable board set. Just got lost a bit on that second pocket. When he got to the top, though, in an absolute head-to-head race, I would always bet on Jason Lentz through the big block at the top. Maddie Slingerland, though, gave up, 4 or 5 hits to Jason in the top of the wood and reeled him in to within 2.
Just utilizing the strength of the legs instead of arm chop. How many guys do you know?
Here you can see they turned together at the same time despite the earlier start by Jason. Big slashing blows from Jason. He was deeper into the front of that log than Maddie Slingerland was, but Maddie Slingerland is such a strong switch-handed cutter, he can get a good amount of work done on the backside of the log instead of chasing it so deep on the front.
This year in the springboard.
Well, there are your official times right there. And Jason Lentz officially 52.81. Matt Slingerland 3 1/4 seconds behind at 56.09. But those two will take the top points. And points is what this game is all about here in this Pool C competition here. They have got the advantage after a single discipline is completed. 5 more of them to come.
Keep it going up there. We got some t-shirt cannon action. We're going to fire one to the left this time. Keep cheering. We got a bunch of shirts. We got flags. If you don't have a flag yet, get those hands up. Make some noise.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the big screen. See the event coming up next, the stock saw.
Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, one downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
All right, here we go. First heat of the stock saw. This will be Brad Jones versus Grant Foreman.
Basically cut in half, so both athletes cut the exact same log. In 96Cs, working ultimate road running machines on stage right now.
Stock saw time as Grant Foreman right there. Grant Foreman coming off a good performance in the springboard chop, knocked down 3rd place points. The man from Ohio.
Warm up your saws.
Brad Jones made his debut at these championships. In the first discipline, the springboard chop, acquitted himself quite well. See if he can
ready.
get on the pace and get in contention to move on.
1, go.
And I don't expect to see Grant Foreman in heat number 1 of a stock saw. He's an excellent operator. Last year, he did not have a good cut, though. Oh, and this year, he's not going to have a good cut either. Cut out. I don't know if he realizes it. Now he's got to go back the other way. I got to check my rules book on this one. Thankfully, I don't have to make the ruling on this one. I was about to say Grant Foreman had trouble last year. He's an exceptional stock saw operator, and then the wheels just fell off the cart.
I believe the fastest time we have seen all weekend in the stock saw. Mike Gash, I'm not insulting you because Mike Gash won it also. That's a great cut. Brad Jones has another day in the office.
I'm waiting to hear the official ruling from head judge Rich Hallett, and then we're going to discuss this further.
Both cuts are good.
There we go. That's what you want to see. Both cuts are good. Grant sneaking it in. He had to go back for that 3rd cookie. Kept it inside that 4-inch line.
Yeah, Brad, I can't wait to see the replay of your start. A lot of athletes kind of come right down. You went, all 8 fingers have to be on top of the log. Talk about that start. You kind of come right down the side of the log. You were in the wood faster than any athlete I've seen, and this is one of the fastest times of the weekend, bud.
Yeah, I guess it's a little unconventional. Like I said in the first interview, I kind of got to make some points today, and the stock saw is a good place to do it. So if I can get that to carry me through a few more, that'd be good.
Well, let's take a look at this start. We're going to be bringing up the replay right now, if you can just hang around. But you were incredibly fast, and a lot of you athletes are into the wood. Here we go, bud.
Yeah, like I said, we do a lot of mod saw racing in the Northeast, and I've just started dabbling a little bit into it the last year or two, so I guess that's helping my starts out a little bit.
Yeah, and they made a thin disc, leaving yourself plenty of room. It's only 4 inches of wood to cut, but it can be difficult in a situation like this.
Absolutely. No, I mean, we get 6 for 3 cuts for the hot saw and 4 inches for 2 cuts, so same amount of wood, but we can squeeze it in.
All right, chopping event coming up next. Brad Jones, our leader in the stock saw. That is a pressure-ready athlete right there. Not rattled one bit, calm, laying down in the 12s. I'm going to see the official time.
Well, here's a look at Grant Foreman's run. Up and clean to the block. Absolutely getting down through the wood, but look at the angle. He is getting wide on the bottom. Now, when he goes to make this transition, doesn't move over quite far enough. The motor moves over, but the bar doesn't. He's only making like half a cut there. Now, what's interesting is from a feel perspective, that feels right because the saw is still cutting wood. It's just not a complete disc. So from an operator's perspective, you just think you're crushing it. Now the part that I was concerned about, and I had to get my pocket rule book out, is making sure that he could make 2 down cuts. The up cut was the one that failed. Right. I was concerned he'd have to replace that with another up cut. Head Judge Rich Hallett says we're all right, and there's a great look at that run from Brad Jones, a textbook run, except for how he leaves the wood to pick up the saw. That is not in any textbook I wrote.
On the wood. And the boss says, let's go. So let's do it. Heat 2 of the stock saw. Tyler White versus David Moses.
All right, here we go. David Moses has been a handle of the stock saw bed over the years. Tyler White, equipment operator, doesn't go out of the cab much. Don't know how much he's actually running these chainsaws day to day. I think he's been training this head up low, Dave. I think he's pumped up.
Okay, here we go with Tyler White going up against David Moses.
Warm up
There's
your
David
saws.
on stand number 2, Tyler White of New York. Stand number 1.
I mentioned this when Mike Ash was out there as a fellow gray-beard individual. Use the machines. And that would be my message to David Moses. Use the machines.
3, 2, 1, go!
He's an excellent saw operator. This is a chance for him to grab points. Tyler White, very quick, very clean to the block, just ahead of Moses. Moses super thin on that upcut. It looks like it's gonna be good. Oh, Tyler White just edges out David Moses. You look at both of these guys, their personal best, their performance last year, they are literally going back and forth in terms of wins and losses. In this case, advantage of Tyler White.
Both cuts are good.
Official time of our first heat of Brad Jones. I need to talk to your buddy Tyler White.
I'd love to talk to
Tyler. You better,
Tyler.
after insulting him about his stock saw ability.
No, I just know that he doesn't run it a whole lot. He's always in a skidder or an excavator. I mean, that's his company on his shirt there. Tyler, I know you and I came up competing together, SUNY Cobleskill. You always love the friendly banter from me. It always gets you dialed in. Talk to me about that run, buddy. It was fast.
I just tried to go as smooth as I can because stock saw is the one event that people are like, it's no big deal, and it is one of the easiest things to mess up. So just keep it smooth, keep it safe, try and keep the pressure on the saw just right, and it came off for me.
Absolutely, buddy. What event are you most looking forward to for the rest of your day?
Single buck, because it's the one people hate, and I happen to love it.
All right, buddy, good luck. Give Tyler a big round of applause. What a cut!
Let's look down the line here. This is Tyler White in the near ground as he comes off, just automatic. He could do that in his sleep. These guys practice that motion over and over and over again. Just the grab, off the wood, down to the saw. But two exceptional operators, the veteran David Moses in the background, exceptionally thin cut on that upcut, but just unable to catch up with Tyler White. But again, these two have duked it out back and forth. You look at their PBs, you look at past couple years, they are neck and neck all the time.
Tyler White, 12.64. He needed a good cut there, and he got one. Good time there, 12.64 for David Moses, 13.05. That's him in third place currently. We got two more heats yet to go, though, in the stock saw.
Going from the springboard to this stock saw, it's got to be so challenging. Well, it took me years to figure it out. I would always have a pretty good springboard. I get into the stock saw, and I kind of got into this survival mode, like, don't mess up this voice, you know, and your head just bounces around, like, don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake. And that doesn't get you anywhere. Usually, you know, you get down a few points, but you have to attack it. Every event you have to attack it. I finally,
Gave me a speech and said, you better start attacking the stock saw, and I actually started getting in the top three. Speaking of three, the third heat of the stock saw, Maddie Slingerland and Ben Nicely. Maddie sitting second overall in steel.
points right now. Yeah, Maddie Sling, probably one of the baddest men on the planet with a stock saw.
Matt Slingerland, Ben Nicely having a probably less than, not up to his expectations of effort in the springboard chop. Looking to make up some ground here. Matt Slingerland wound up third place in the springboard chop, so.
We've been talking about the technical aspect of stock saw and how these guys study stock saw and train stock saw. I don't know if anybody has put more
Warm
time
up
and
your
effort
saws.
in than Matty Slingerland in this event, with the tutelage of his dad, Mike Slingerland, with other guys in the Mid-Atlantic region. They absolutely scrutinize every millisecond in this event.
Got to make a correction there. Matt was second in the springboard.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
One-handed grab for Matty Slingerland. Saw up. That is legal. You can have one hand on this. Oh, no. Something went wrong on the bottom there. He was into the block super quick. Look at how quick he corrects, though.
I think he got it.
Wow. I don't know what happened. It was almost like he was crooked into the log and stuffed the chain up or dragged the chain. I'm not sure what happened. I'm thinking we'll get an interview with him. He's talking to Ben Nicely right now. These guys throw information back and forth quite a lot. I didn't hear what he said, though. He said,
Both cuts are good.
Well, this happened to Matty last year. He had a couple mistakes early, had to climb out of it later in his pool to advance into the finals, but Matty's smiling now.
Get over here. Do you ever stop smiling, buddy? No. I'm waiting to see if you got in the 11s. Unofficially, we are low 12s. After they review it, I want to see if you're a little well, no, hang on. You're in the lead. Talk about the speed you need bringing into the stock saw, especially going against the U.S. representative on the relay team, Matty Sling.
Honestly, Dave, you said it before we came out. If you don't attack the stock saw, you're not going to win. You have to attack the stock saw. Those points are worth just as much as springboard and hot saw and single buck, so you have to go for the stock saw.
Yeah, it was beautiful. You really did attack it. We're going to see the replay in a second. Maybe you can talk us through it. You know, you get a 15-second to warm up. What can you learn from that warm-up?
You listen to the saw, but you've also watched the wood. You watch the guys in front of you go, so you know about how much pressure to put on the saw, and then your first 2 seconds in the wood, that's when you're adjusting.
Okay, and then especially you go from the small wood into the big wood that's 16 inches wide. Here we go. Do you have to adjust the pressure throughout the log?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I actually went in a little heavy at first, and it bogged. The rest of that first cut was fantastic. I actually heard Matty come out first, so I was like, man, he's way ahead. And then the second cut was beautiful. I couldn't have done anything different there.
Out the top, you're in the lead. We're waiting for the official time. Regardless, you got a big standing block coming up next. There you go. Your unofficial leader in the stock saw, Ben Nicely.
Here we go down the line. Ben Nicely was over there in the background. And Matty Slingerland here in the foreground, absolutely loading up these saws. In these slow speed shots on the down cut, there's that, I don't know what happened.
What was that?
I'd love to talk to Matty about it. I don't know if he got the chain a little crooked and it got twisted a little bit in the guide bar, but he was so quick on that switch and so quick on that correction, he almost reeled back in, or almost reeled Ben Nicely back in.
Well, you know,
what an amazing set of runs from two top-notch operators.
Oh my gosh, super close there, but Ben Nicely able to pull out top points so far. And that Matt Slingerland right behind him, 12:02 it says for Nicely officially, and 12.12 for Matt Slingerland. There's your overalls, a snapshot of where it is right now with one heat remaining in this competition. It's Matt Slingerland on top, Ben Nicely.
Jason Lentz and Jason Lentz and Arden Koger Jr.
Final heat of the stock saw, top two seeds, as it were. Jason Lentz, former national champion here on stand number one, going up against the great one, Arden Koger Jr. Has made the podium 17 times in the STIHL US Championships.
If we rewind a decade or so, it would have been Arden Koger Jr. out here against Mel Lentz, Jason's dad.
Yes, no doubt.
Jason was the young upstart, now nibbling, I shouldn't even say young anymore, but where Arden Koger Jr. was chasing down Mel Lentz. Now we've got Jason Lentz chasing down
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh no, there it is. We saw it from Matt Koger in the Pool B qualifier. That is Arden Koger Jr. I'm speechless as I watch this. This is just pandalirium on these two stands.
What is going on here?
So let's start with the start. Arden Koger Jr. came down and stabbed the chain brake, locking the chain brake, much like we saw from Matt Koger in Pool B. Then there was trouble at the switch for Jason Lentz, or I think, because I was over watching Arden Koger Jr. We got to see this again.
Sigh of relief for both these guys. That was mayhem. They're just walking off. They are both disgusted with that stop.
Well, there you saw it. There was the stuff up. Arden Koger Jr. hits the chain brake, has to unlock the chain brake. Now watch at the bottom here. Jason's all over the place. He started his upcut, but I think he was too close to the line and had to reset. It's very good that he didn't hit the line, because even though he corrected, that would still count as cutting over the line. That would still be a DQ.
Well, there's your final standings in the stock saw, and it's Ben Nicely going to take the top points. 12.02. Matt Slingerland in second place. Arden Koger with a 14.85 and Jason Lentz with a 14.09. More than a little bit surprising. Let's take a look at our overall standings right now, and it's Matt Slingerland on top of Ben Nicely. Jason Lentz in third place, and Brad Jones in the fourth spot. It's all about being in the top four. Behind them, Tyler White, Grant Foreman, Arden Koger Jr., and David Moses. Well, that's only 2 of our 6 disciplines. We get ready to take a quick break for just a few moments here while we get reset for some more chopping. We're going to get the axes in hand when we come back here. A lot of tough, tight competition so far in Pool C action on this special Saturday in July in Wisconsin. Headed for the halfway point in our competition, our semifinal pool competition to determine our 12 finalists for tomorrow's championship, STIHL Timbersports US 2025. So happy, so lucky to have this as our home for this great championship for so many years now. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and German Fest in the background, and great competition going on stage. Right now, we got chopping on the way. The standing block coming up next.
Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
All right, Milwaukee, let's see those flags. Get those hands up in the air. Who wants a t-shirt? Who wants a t-shirt? We got a couple more. Keep those hands up. Oh, the tape came off that one. First heat of the standing block chop, Brad Jones and Dave Moses.
Here we go. Heat number 1 of the standing block is going to be Brad Jones. Brad Jones Doing quite well here, keeping himself in the top 4. That's what this day is all about as we head for the midway point. We'll be there after we finish the standing block. Going to be going up against David Moses in this one. David was 4th place in the overall championship here back in 2013. A lot of years, great competition for the man from Washington State.
2, 1, go!
Up against Brad Jones with a lot of minutes of competition,
Yes,
a lot of
that's
hours of
right.
competition.
It's a contrast,
But,
you're saying.
Yes, I think it's exactly what it is. Brad Jones, and look at him, taking a page out of the book of Tristan Van Beek. Don't call me a rookie by rookies. This is just exceptional chopping here from Brad Jones. He's got a lot of wood on the far side, though. He may have gotten a little greedy. The axe is hanging. There he finds the fiber.
Wow.
Look at David Moses reeling him in at the end. This is the veteran up against the wily rookie here, and Brad Jones almost gave that away. Could have cut a little more in the front side of that log. David Moses, in contrast, did a ton of work in the front side of that log and had very little wood to cut when he got around to the backside.
Both cuts are good.
I'm going to work with Brad Jones. Brad, it looks like he's ready to leave the stage already. Come on over here, Brad. You know, a lot of the athletes, I say it all the time, a lot of the athletes, they cut their block and they just kind of walk off stage. You're walking towards me, you looked at the block, kind of glared at it. What did you just learn from that scarf?
One more up in the back would have saved 4.
And now where would you have put that one up hit in the back?
Well, I tried to just take out my knee, I think, and take it off, and there wasn't enough chip cleared out, so I was trying to go through too much. Let's put it that way.
All right, Brad, thanks a lot. I see you're sweating, you're tired. We got 3 heats left in the standing block. Brad Jones, the time to beat, though. He's having a great day today. What do you see?
Well, here is a look at that run from Brad Jones. There's one problem right there. Some far wood just waiting. He's took out a loan on the front side of that block, and he's going to have to pay it back. There's a great shot. Look at that left side of the block from our perspective. That big wall of wood. That is going to come back to bite him. Now, in the back side of the log, he mentioned one up hit may have saved him 4 down hits. Yes, that's true, but also that near wood now was a lot tougher to cut because of the far wood he left on the front side.
Well, Brad Jones by less than a second, getting by the veteran David Moses. Heat number 1, personal best listed for him at 24.97 seconds.
In the meantime, you got 2 more tremendous athletes coming up.
You know, we've seen another, somebody puts down a time in the mid-20s and it ends up getting him points. Moses just breathing it in.
And you see
Look
him
at the
taking
face.
You see him taking an extra second out here right now, Dave. He's absorbing this all. He announced on Facebook earlier this weekend this was going to be his final trip to Milwaukee for the STIHL Timbersports Series. So, folks, anytime you see him come up this weekend, make sure to let him hear it.
Second heat of the standing block, Tyler White and Grant Foreman.
Going to be Tyler White on stand number 1 going up against Grant Foreman in this one right here. Grant Foreman, an accomplished chopper. Tyler White's put in the hours as well.
Well, Tommy, it'd be interesting to see how Tyler White holds up against Grant Foreman. Grant is an absolute clinician in this standing block chop. Did not live up to his own expectations last year, and just needs to kind of put that behind him and put up a typical Grant Foreman cut here. Tyler White maybe in the underhand with an advantage, but I'm really going to think Grant Foreman. Wow, Tyler White with a massive front face, had a hit get way high away from him. Grant Foreman doing about as much as you need to do, no more, no less. Tyler White putting in some really powerful hits, clearing chips, but Grant is driving near, far, takes it apart, very technical cut. hooked the heel of that axe and sent himself for a spin. Sub 22nd time, not his personal best time, but we've said it multiple times. Timber a little bit on the firm side here this weekend. A sub 22nd time is nothing to scoff at.
Sitting ahead of him here in the standing block, he's got to be called up.
Both cuts are good.
Wow, what a cut by both of these athletes. Grabbing every steel point they can. Grant Foreman was ready to go at they bring that spare axe out. Grant Foreman at the last second had to get that axe out of the way of his front foot, because some of these athletes, that front foot will kind of walk around the stage as they go near, middle, far. Grant Foreman, let's talk about that. You got your spare axe, you almost stepped on it, buddy. Right before go, you had to get that out of the way, but your front foot, it really does maneuver as you're near, middle, far. Some athletes keep it in one place. Some athletes actually walk. They say walk the stage. Talk about how important it is to keep the footing clear.
That's right. You've got to have your footing clear. And in that block, I noticed a little bit firmer, so I wanted to put 3 drivers up. And you saw me walk around the log a little more so I could get all the way around it. That made it come off easy. That's why that last blow, I took the whole block with it. So probably saved me a swing in the back to do that.
How's your back? A little Timber Sports on Ice pirouette when you came off. How you feeling?
Yeah, a little adrenaline. It's doing okay.
All right, go rest up, buddy. Grant Foreman leading, sub 20 seconds. Let's watch this replay, bud.
So step number 1, prepare the work area. Grant Foreman just gave like a $600 axe, a little boot out of the way. That was exactly where he wanted his foot. But with that out of the way, time to go to work. 1 and 1, then a 2 and 2 pattern. Watch him chase these corners. 3 hits across the bottom. Has to kick a chip out of the way. He is just playing soccer out there with all sorts of dangerous items. Into the back. Watch this near then far. Smokes off a ton of that far wood. Just buries the heel of that axe. It actually hooks the top of the block and sends him for a little spin.
Grant Foreman. Good job there, 19.17 his official time. Needed that. He had dropped out of the top 4 down into 6th place, and that is going to right the ship a little bit there, because he can do no worse than 3rd place. No, excuse me, he can do worse than 3rd place. I got ahead of myself there. We have 2 more heats remaining in the standing block chopper.
All right, here we go.
And ready to go with heat number 3, Matt Slingerland going up against Arden Koger Jr.
Oh, this reminds me a lot. We talked earlier about Arden Koger Jr. up against Jason Lentz, where previously, you go back a couple few decades, it would have been a young Arden Koger Jr. going up against Mel Lentz. In this case, it'd be Arden Koger Jr. up against Maddie's dad, Mike Slingerland.
Yeah, right.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both of these guys coming out of the Mid-Atlantic region, going for decades head-to-head against families. Really synchronized chopping here. I'm watching these guys. Man, they're neck and neck. Maddie Slinger, though, is going to drive. Wow. I was going to say he's going to drive that off at about 1 more blow. Didn't even let me finish his sentence. Arden there near, now far. Maddie Slingerland just had a massive front face. He was beyond halfway through that log. Wow, what a cut from Maddie Slingerland. 16:28.
Both cuts are good.
What a cut for Maddie Slingerland.
Boy, what a response from Maddie Sling. Maddie, I think it's important that we define timber sports athletes, not by if an event goes wrong, but how they follow it. And you followed a tough springboard, you still got second. No, you're disappointed. You just laid down a massive cut in 16 seconds. Talk about that unleash of power, unleash of emotion.
Yeah, hey, Dave, I knew it was a good log. My coaches have been saying just attack them because I've been a little too careful trying to place the hits. And that's what I went out there to do. It just worked out.
Yeah, it worked out all right. Beautiful. Those 1 and 1, you take 1 up, 1 down. And if they're not lined up perfect, that chip will hang right in your path.
Yeah, I knew I was going to put 8 in the front and the chips were clearing pretty good, so once I put those drivers in, I knew I was past halfway, and then at that point, it's just stick to your pattern and hammer down.
All right, great job, buddy. Take a rest. These guys are sweating up here. Not just you and I, Dave. Here's the replay.
Well, let's watch these two Titans go head-to-head. 8-hit front and a big 8-hit front. Maybe the hits didn't go exactly where you want, but like you hear Matty say, his coaches are like, you know what, sometimes you just got to send it. Maybe the hit's not going to go exactly where you want it to. Not a bad-looking front face, and it went deep. Cleared a lot of timber out. That set him up to drive off and finish. Fist pump for Matty Slingerland. Hopefully he can carry that momentum through into the finals.
Matt Slingerland beating the time to beat by almost 3 seconds there ahead of Grant Foreman, so he takes over the top spot. Matt Slingerland, a guy who always arrives on the property ready to go. He has finished first place in pool qualifying 3 of the last 4 years, so he comes prepared and ready to excel and overachieve when he gets on the property here. Matt Slingerland leading in overall standings as a result of that, of course, as it stands right now, and Grant Foreman in second place. But we got one more heat left to go in the standing block.
Man, Milwaukee, I can tell the beers are flowing out there. How's everybody feeling out there today?
I'm feeling like watching this final heat. Let's bring them out. Final heat of standing block, Ben Nicely and Jason Lentz.
Going to be Ben Nicely on stand number 1 in this final heat. Nicely had some ups and downs during the course of today. Jason Lentz pretty much on track, but not his usual. He's used to being near the top in these pool qualifying rounds. He's going to show us something here, I can guarantee you.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, nicely cuts a very nice standing block chop. His opening blow, a little bit of a hang up. Nothing like starting out with a hiccup on your very first hit. Jason Lentz absolutely crushes standing blocks. Watch the wood that Jason Lentz is going to drive. Oh, it's not going though. It's not shit. There it is. Boy, that almost didn't go his way. 1693, he was chasing that time from Matty Slingerland. I don't think he got him.
It's going to be real close. We're going to get another time of Matty Slingerland below 16. He may be grabbing a win in this game on. Regardless, great cut from both these athletes.
Both cuts are good.
Much needed points there for both these guys. Nicely staring down that block, saying, man, it was firm, but came off on time for him.
Yeah,
he's pumped
Jason
about
Lentz,
it.
let's just talk real quick. You know, you've always been one of the hardest hitters in the world. A couple years ago, I noticed you were training with Lawrence O'Toole in Australia. Spent a lot of time. You came back and you found more speed. Am I correct on that, or is this an illusion? You're fast now.
Yeah, going down there and chopping the hardwood makes you react to the axe quicker. It comes back out at you, so your reaction time gets better, Dave.
Yeah, great cut, Jason. Again, he says you have to react to that axe. You have to know to get. It's almost like you start pulling the axe out before it penetrates the log. Jason Lentz getting
some help from that Australian champion, Lawrence O'Toole.
Let's watch this front side with Jason Lentz. Stepped down the top. I don't think that was intentional. Started to run out of some timber. Got it done though. Got his 8 hits in. Gets around to the back, and that would explain why it didn't drive off. He now has that big chunk of wood between his top scarf and that line where he should have been, and he did a beautiful job driving through it, but that kind of explains that extra drive, maybe 2 on the backside.
Well, there's Matty Slingerland on top. He's going to win the standing block chop with a 16.28. Jason Lentz's time just behind him, a half second, 16.72. Let's take a look at the overall standings, and it's Matt Slingerland on top. He does that when he comes to this pool competition. That is for sure. Jason Lentz, 3 points behind, tied with Ben Nicely for second place. Grant Foreman rounds out the top 4 with 12 points right there. On the outside, Tyler White, Arden Koger Jr., Brad Jones, and David Moses.
All right, Milwaukee, we got some more shirts up here. We're gonna see how much more gas the t-shirt cannon has. I want to hear the loudest fans out there for this one. Keep going, I gotta still load this thing, keep going. All right, there's Super Dave. And that's why he was a wood chopper, not a baseball player. Right there, right there. Let's see those orange flags out there. Where's those orange flags?
All right, Dave, I hate to interrupt you. Keep throwing, but we are going to throw momentarily the single buck. Coming up on the big screen. You keep firing.
Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
Way to go, stage crew. They've got us ready already for the single buck. Let's bring them out first heat. This is Brad Jones and David Moses.
Ready for some more sawing here. The single buck is the fourth discipline of the day. Brad Jones going up against David Moses. Heat number 1. William Jones doing a good job today. Kind of fell off the pace in the standing block chop, but he could get himself back up into the conversation with a good effort here in the single buck.
Brad was in the conversation, in part of the top 4. He slipped below that line. I don't want to discredit him to have a rookie in the top 4. The Tristan Van Beek effect, as we've come to know it, I guess, is pretty rare. It's pretty rare.
Oh,
so,
yeah, that's it. This is an experience that's new and different for the rookie, for sure.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1. Go!
He is right there on the go, and he is attacking the top of this block. I like that entire use of the saw, taking advantage. Look at the speed from Brad Jones. A little bit off kilter on his start. He's not quite plumbed down through the block, but anytime you can drive off a single buck ahead of David Moses, you're doing something right.
Both cuts are good.
Jones is having himself a day. Jones is having himself an absolute day for his rookie debut in here in Milwaukee. We'll bring him over here. There's Moses. I'll give him a little fist bump there. There you go, David. Brad, dude, do you expect it? I know you've been competing well throughout the last couple of years. You've been getting prepped up to step on this STIHL Timbersports Series stage, but dude, you're having a day. Talk to me about that single buck.
Well, if you said I'd get the same amount of points in single as I would in standing, I wouldn't have believed you. So, no, especially against David, he's one of the guys over the years you look at as one of the better single cutters in the country, so I'm just happy to pull one off without sticking and hanging up.
Absolutely, man. And what are you running for a saw? I know these saws are super hard to get. There's only 5 manufacturers now in the entire world. What were you running there?
I'm fortunate enough to have gotten a JP saw. I've had it for 6 or 7 years now, which is unheard of because I got it pretty well right out of college. So fortunate with that. It hasn't been touched since because I don't know if I'm ever going to get it back. So that's it, man.
Dude, awesome job. Give Brad a big round of applause in his rookie year up here, having himself a day.
There's a great side-by-side comparison. Brad Jones on the left, David Moses on the right. David Moses gets up over the block, uses his upper body and mass to horse down on that saw. Brad Jones, a little bit maybe bigger radius on that saw, runs it flatter off the start, concentrates on running that entire saw and taking advantage of the geometry. Fists in the air for Brad Jones, the rookie here on the STIHL TimberSports stage in Milwaukee.
Well, the rookie should be proud to be able to take down, not by much, a guy who's been a top-notch single buck sawyer for a long, long time, David Moses. 16.51 official time.
Hope says, let's go, Dave. All right, heat 2 of the single buck, Tyler White and Arden Koger Jr.
Matchup now between Tyler White and Arden Koger Jr. There's Tyler White right there. Both of those guys 5th and 6th place, so they're the first 2 to start this discipline outside the top 4, so they can do themselves a lot of good. They're laying down a fast time in the single buck.
Well, a contradiction here between Tyler White on 1, Arden Koger Jr. on 2. Arden Koger always starting with a bit of a push stroke. Everybody else in the world that I know starts on a pull stroke.
Go!
And from there, Arden Koger Jr. is a very David Moses style sawyer. Likes to get that nose down, handle up, and just puts horsepower to it. Speaking of horsepower, there comes Tyler White down through the bottom of this log. Got a lot of saw sticking out the nose, but had the pace with it, coming out around 15 seconds flat for Tyler White.
Your time to beat unofficially, just under 15 seconds so far. Jamie, not far behind him there.
Both cuts are good.
There it is. Tyler, 2 fists in the air. Yeah. Tyler's psyched about that, and he ought to be. Tyler, you're sweating, buddy. We'll do a quick interview. Talk about that cut. Seemed like you guys were even off the top. You hit the big one in the middle. You just pulled ahead. That face. I hope the replay gets a zoom in on your facial expression. You were attacking it.
I don't hope it doesn't, because it's probably not a good-looking face on a close-up.
Talk about that cut. Talk about the technique. You're using the whole saw the best you can. Buddy, you and I have raced, and I'm going as hard as I can because I know you were one of the best. Great job. You're going to be right up there in steel points.
Yeah, we're trying. It's really nice wood. It is a little firmer, so you just got to put the pace on it and go and go and go. It's all you can do. You can't twist on it, because if you do, you're going to hang the saw up.
And you're not allowed to lubricate the saws on the stage, but you are allowed to lubricate the gullets where the chips are held. What do you do backstage to prepare when you bring these saws out?
Just as much WD-40 as you can back there to try and get the chips to come out of the saw, because if you build the gullets full, it's not going to cut.
All right, you're sweating your eyes. You got wood chips on your face, buddy. Go clean yourself up. Pull yourself together. Let's watch the replay. Here's Tyler White.
Well, there's a good look at the effort from Tyler White on stand number 1. A little bit of nose to go back in there, and if you watch, there's like a little chatter on the end of that saw. That tells me that saw was not set straight or plumb. It's cutting at a little bit of an angle, and the saw wants to lay over. All sorts of effort there from Tyler White. There's the facial expression that Dave Jewett wanted to see as he keeps that saw moving. He put it perfectly in that interview. The wood is firm. You've got to keep the saw moving. A stall is death in this event.
Well, new time to beat there is 14.77 from Tyler White. He is on top with 2 heats remaining here in the single buck. Arden Coker Jr.'s time, 16.66.
Heat 3 of the single buck, Grant Foreman and Ben Nicely.
Grant Foreman is going to be pumped out with that standing block chop. Well, Grant Foreman is running a very familiar saw.
All right, Grant Foreman and Ben Nicely. Ben Nicely coming into this 4th discipline in 3rd place. Grant Foreman in 4th place. So they are needing to hold those positions. They can stay there. Today is a success.
We're going to see some times drop in this heat. Both of these guys exceptional cutters. Both of these guys capable of cutting in the 12s. I don't think we have the timber to see 12s, but I wouldn't be surprised if they come down to the 13s.
That was our friend Super Dave just mentioned Mark Boquin cutting the 12s, I believe, in Pool B action.
That doesn't count, though,
okay.
Tommy.
What, is he Superman?
Yeah, that's Mark Boquin.
Okay. Right.
There's an asterisk next to that.
Okay.
We had a time in the 12s in Pool B. It was Mark Boquin.
Yeah.
Go!
Grant Foreman with a much more level start compared to Ben Nicely. Look at the pace from both of these guys. Maybe a little bit too much aggression from Grant Foreman. He's got to relax that grip. You see that saw just whipping into the wood. Grant Foreman drives through 13:46. Thank you, Grant Foreman. There was a lot of grr behind that saw from Grant Foreman. When you see the saw get that snake-like whip going in there, that is usually excessive squeeze on the handle. You're not letting the handle rotate in your hands as you present the saw to the block.
Both cuts are good.
All right. You know, you and I talked out back, and you were saying, I don't know, this may be my last year of timber sports. My back has hurt me. Buddy, you better stick around. You're on fire today. Talk about this saw. Dave claims he sold it to you. Do we have to give him credit?
Yes, we do. Dave sold me that saw. A lot of 3 cutters out here. 2 cutters seemed like it worked pretty good, too. It's a JP Mercier saw. Thing cuts amazing. Mike Sullivan just stoned it for me. It's a great saw.
And it was amazing. Watch the replay, the chips that were coming out of those gullets on the push and the pull stroke. You really seem to be working on that, making the saw work in both directions.
Yeah, I was trying to make full strokes to the fact that I actually ran my hand into the cookie in the last stroke. So I was really trying to cut with the full saw, not trying to rush it too much.
Great cut. Grant Foreman unofficially in the lead.
There's a good look at the opening blows from both of these competitors. Ben Nicely, that handle way up in the air, attacking that saw, getting his weight up over it. Grant Foreman a little bit flatter, letting that saw do the work. And here you can see that whip in there as he's kind of pushing his hands away from his body, driving it off. I could say maybe fortunate that he didn't break that cookie before he got that last push stroke in there.
Good time for Grant Foreman. 13.29 put us in the top position for points so far, but we have 1 more heat remaining in the single buck.
These guys gotta go for it, and these guys are Matty Schlingerland and Jason Lentz.
Final heat of the single buck. There's our points leader, Matt Slingerland, going up against Jason Lentz, the former champion here. Matt Slingerland, who has become so close so many times.
Well, for several years, we would talk about Jason Lentz being so powerful in the single buck event. but he would lack the technique. He would lack the form. Well, after an extensive training session, or several extensive training sessions with JP Mercier and others, the worst happened for everyone else here. Jason stayed just as powerful, and he got the form. He got the technique, and that is just a lethal combination. You see him right there. He's counting the rakers, the teeth coming down out of that saw, so that he starts in the exact right spot. He knows what raker he wants on the near edge of that wood. He is a student of this discipline.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
What I'm trying to say, Tommy, is this is going to be a race between two excellent operators, and what a great perspective. Jason Lentz right now has the pace over Matty Slingerland. I think he's going to drive off ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, it came off even sooner. It came off on a pole stroke sooner than he was expecting. Matty Slingerland started to reel him in the bottom third of that log, though. What a race between two awesome operators.
Both cuts are good.
Man, what a heat. That's going to shake things up. Jason Lentz powering through the bottom of that log.
Awesome cut, Jason. Sub 13 seconds. I just want to give a little shout out to your dad, Melvin. He's won so many titles, but he's filing saws. And are you getting some, like, what are you learning watching your dad filing the saws? You can test them, and you really, the more you know how the saws run, the better you run as an athlete.
Well, he's a lot like JP Mercier. He don't let me watch very often, so yeah, I'm at a loss, Dave.
I know you had a tough cut in Hayward, Wisconsin last weekend, and you were upset. I think you just made a great cut, and I'm always watching you close, buddy. I think it was a great cut. Could you find more if you did that again?
100%. Second cut's always faster.
All right, buddy, we're going to see you. I'm assuming we're going to see him in the finals tomorrow in a big showdown, hopefully with him and Mark Boquint.
Nose to nose, these two technicians go at it. Like I said at the beginning of this show, or the beginning of this heat, the danger for everyone else out here was when Jason Lentz mated the technique with the power. Every inch of that saw is being used. You see the nose disappear back into the block. He had the pace at the top that Matty Slingerland just didn't seem to have. Matty found it, though, in the bottom third and reeled him in. Just was too little, too late.
So Jason Lentz into the 12s, 12.96, the official time for Jason Lentz, wins the single buck, and there are your overall standings right there, and Matt Slingerland on top. 2 points ahead of Jason Lentz. Ben Nicely and Grant Foreman taking the top 4 spots there. Tyler White, Brad Jones, and all the rest are going to have to move the needle in a significant way if they want to get back into contention for one of those important top 4 spots. That's what today is all about. Our Pool C competition will continue shortly. We'll take a quick break. Beautiful Saturday here in Milwaukee. We're down to the last 2 of our 6 disciplines in this Pool C competition. Semi-final competition to make the finals tomorrow. The championship for STIHL TimberSports 2025 US Championship. Great competition going on throughout. We've only got these 2 left, though, but one of them includes the hot saw, which is certainly the most uncertain thing in the sport of timber sports. Can certainly change the landscape of the leaderboard. We are ready now for some more chopping, though, before we get to the sawing. The underhand is coming up.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes cut through a 32-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
Two disciplines remaining. This is the first heat of the underhand. This is Brad Jones and David Moses.
Brad Jones on the left.
Going to be Brad Jones versus David Moses in this first heat on stand 1. There's Brad Jones right there. Finds himself just outside by about 2 positions of the top 4. And he can put on a charge here. Get a good result in the hot saw to end it up and possibly make it in. David Moses, competing in his 60s now. He is 60 years old. Quitting himself well here.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Brad Jones says, don't call me a rookie. He's had an exceptional run here today. He's outside the bubble, would like to cut his way in. Regardless, an exceptional effort from Brad Jones. David Moses has already announced this is his last year. Win, lose, or draw, his last time on the Timber Sports stage. So we love watching this man cut, putting up an exceptionally clean underhand chop. He is going 1 to the guts, down to the bottom, but Brad Jones is off already. There's David Moses off.
You saw that top drive, middle drive, lower drive. When that comes off, that's the plan. He had a plan. Worked for him. Axe is working for him. Brad Jones is glaring. You may have to do this interview with Jones. He's wound up.
Both cuts are good.
Man, there was some hate in those eyes to that underhand block for Jones when he came out, and he executed again, came off on time in the back. Brad, talk to me what you were seeing in that block, buddy. You attacked it.
Yeah, I undercut the standing block, so I overcut this one a little bit, but it kept my hits rolling good, which is what I wanted. So time's not gonna stand up, but it was a good time for me.
Absolutely, buddy. I know this wood, vastly different than the stuff that you chop at home up in New England. Talk to me about what you were feeling in axe testing and then going into this log.
There are a lot of guys that are better at axe testing than me. I only have a handful, 2 or 3 that I'm gonna use in each event anyways. So I brought 4 axes, 2 of them are staying in the box and 2 of them I'm cutting with.
All right, buddy. Give him a big round of applause. Excellent cut here in the underhand. We'll see him in the hot saw.
Well, let's have a look at these two guys go head to head. It could not be more of a dichotomy. David Moses, 60 years young, the veteran competitor in his last year on the right. Brad Jones, his first year here in the professional ranks on the STIHL Timbersports stage, both putting up exceptional, technically correct cuts. Brad Jones just doing a little more work in the front and manages to punch it off a little bit quicker in the back. Brad Jones' official time of 25.29. David Moses, about 3 seconds and change back at 28.89.
Second heat of the underhand chop, Tyler White and Arden Koger Jr.
Tyler White on stand number 1. Going to be going against Arden Koger Jr. here. Both these athletes need to, as we say, make big things happen in these last 2 disciplines. The only thing left after the underhand is the hot saw competition.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1. Go!
Swing speed has been the legacy for Arden Koger Jr. Just pistoning hits into this underhand block. Tyler White is doing his best to match and keep that speed. The patented helicopter spin. Oh, yeah, he had to go back and pick up that hit over on his left side. Arden Koger Jr.'s driving top, 1 in the guts, going another to the guts, down to the bottom. It is not shifting, looking for those fibers. There it is, Arden Koger Jr. at 23-26. Tyler White does his best. Oh, he's trying to find those last fibers. Each of those step-offs is just agonizing for a competitor.
Sub 24 seconds. I love that spin turn, and he nailed it. It's very difficult to nail that and be accurate on that entrance to the backside.
Both cuts are good.
Yeah, that was vintage Jamie Koger on that spin.
Great speed once again, great power. I always brag about your spin turn, and you nailed it, buddy. How difficult is that? And would you suggest timber sports athletes coming up in the ranks attempt that?
This is about efficiency. This is a sport where you have to maximize or minimize your time on the log. However, you can do that with hit cadence or with proper axe placement or with an efficient turn. It just makes things go faster and smoother.
Sub 24 seconds, great time, Arden. You want to watch your replay? Well, here we go. And you're one of the best commentators. Talk about this.
Well, what's going through my mind right now is that I wanted to make sure I put 11 hits in the front because the wood was fairly stiff. Didn't really hit that first hit properly, but I made up for it with the next two. After that, I'm getting into the wood, and then I was like, okay, let's drive this off. And I actually hit one extra hit. The log was off before I actually hit this last hit in the bottom, but I went ahead and hit it just to be certain. It was off there. Right there. I didn't need that last hit, so it is what it is. I'll take the cut. We'll see what happens in the hot saw.
Get your hot saw ready. There you go, Arden Koger. Always willing to give a great interview. That makes our job easy.
Arden Koger giving us a commentary on his own performance there, and it was good enough to take over the top spot at 23.62 official time for Arden Koger Jr.
Heat number 3 of the underhand chop, Grant Foreman and Jason Lentz.
All right, a matchup here in the underhand is going to be Grant Foreman going up against Jason Lentz. Grant Foreman's been hanging in there today. Would like to qualify for another final, that is for sure. He's in the 4th spot right now, coming into this event. I won't say right now, but coming into this discipline, he was in the 4th spot, and that's what really counts. Jason Lentz in 2nd place to start the underhand chop.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Grant Foreman with a very commanding performance in the standing block chop is a tough call here going head-to-head against Jason Lentz. Lentz around to the backside, opening 2 and 2, a different strategy than we saw from Arden Koger Jr. in that last round. Grant Foreman, though, turning right with him. Oh, look at Jason Lentz.
Wow.
What a ridiculous performance as he just blows through a tremendous amount of timber in the bottom of that log. Ridiculous. Jason Lentz just doesn't understand the concept of timber. He will just, I'll look at a chunk of wood and go, there's no way he can drive that off. And then Jason Lentz drives it off.
Both cuts are good.
A good cut. There it is. How about Jason Lentz, though, Dave? Absolute animal. Jason, talk to me about that cut, dude. Didn't look like it came off when you wanted to on the back side. Went back for almost one more hit there. What did you see?
My left hand hit in the bottom, both sides. Bottom left hand hit both sides. Didn't go where I wanted it to. Man, this humidity up here, it's tough on these axe handles and hands. You got to be a real good axeman to swing an axe in this stuff. So, yeah, it's what it is.
All right, buddy. Hot saw coming up next. One of your favorite events. I know you got a lot of points right now. What can we expect to see?
I'll put 3 on the deck. That's first.
I love it, buddy. Good luck in the hot saw. Jason Lentz, everybody.
But how fast will those 3
Here we go, side by side. There's Grant Foreman in the background on the left. That last hit from Jason Lentz there, you see it hang up. He goes into a 2-and-2 rotation, draws a big slab of wood out, couple of sticks of the axle. That just robs momentum. Watch him go down here to the bottom, goes top, bottom. I thought he'd have maybe one more blow, two more blows in there. You just have to recalibrate. Standing block and underhand. Jason Lentz will just drive timber. He just slices fibers so powerfully and so efficiently.
Jason Lentz, official time of 19.61. He's got the top points with 1 heat remaining in the underhand chop.
Final heat in the underhand chop. Ben Nicely and Matt Slingerland.
Well, here it is, Ben Nicely and Matt Slingerland. Matt Slingerland been on the top of this points race for the most of this competition, this Pool C competition. Going up against Ben Nicely, he's been hanging in there himself. Came into the underhand in third spot, the third spot overall.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
These guys have cut head-to-head dozens of times in the Mid-Atlantic region at regional competitions. Now they're going head-to-head here in Milwaukee. This is qualifying time for the championships. Ben Nicely with a huge hang-up, another huge hang-up. Matty Slingerland is not waiting around. That axe is free, it's moving. He's shifted tons of wood, he's got to drive. Where is it? There it is for Matty Slingerland, 19.67.
Both cuts are good.
Man, I knew, Dave, that Matty was going to lay down a cut. He came out onto the stage with some swag on that one. Just went out there, knew what he had for a block, knew he had a good axe. What a cut.
Awesome cut, dude. We're going to wait patiently to see if it's you or Lentz taking the win. I know it really doesn't matter for you going into the hot saw. You seem to bring some speed in that cut. Did you find a new gear?
Yeah, getting a win always matters, Dave, but I told myself today that I was going to try to find some speed. I've been working on my swing. Like you guys said earlier, it takes a couple years to get it right. And at this point, I just need to go fast. So I said I was going to try to hammer down. Made a few mistakes, but things we can correct for tomorrow.
You know, we talk about the hot saw in case we don't get a chance. You bring these $12,000 engines. By the way, don't go anywhere. This is about to happen. Your hot saw, it made it here. It had a journey to get the crankshaft repaired. I'm just getting right into this. Is your hot saw running?
Yeah, Jerry, if you're watching, couldn't thank you enough. He got it running. He had a week's notice. It's unbelievable. And it's ready to go.
If you have sensitive ears, plug them. You're going to hear Matty's hot saw warming up momentarily. Let's see who took the win in the underhand.
Well, let's go back and watch that underhand. There you have them head-to-head. Ben Nicely on the left, Matty Slingerland on the right. Look at the slab of wood that Matty Slingerland draws out of that block. Clears it away so he doesn't need a chip hit. He is well deep into this block. I'm kind of wondering if he had a little bit of extra wood left on the bottom of the front side. He seemed like he really had to drive deep in there in the bottom. Takes down, not going to win the underhand, but a solid time. Grabs some point. No, excuse me, I stand corrected. The official time, a 19:31 as opposed to the 19:67 we saw earlier.
Yep, 19:31. That makes him the top man in the underhand chop there, Matt Slingerland. His second discipline victory of the day. Jason Lentz in second place and Ben Nicely in third place, kind of maintaining the status quo there in the top four. We'll see how really close that is to reality. As we look at the overalls, very, very important right now, and Matt Slingerland still hanging in there. He's not been knocked out of that top spot for a long, long time. Jason Lentz right behind him, 3 points back there. Been nicely, been hanging in third for a good while. And Grant Foreman, the guy holding down the fourth spot with 23 points. Tyler White, the first man out. Got to be in that top four. Well, stay with us. We have got one more discipline on tap for you, and if you're familiar with timber sports, you know what's going to be to wrap up the day. It's going to be the hot saw, and the hot saw is a place where certain people can get well and certain people can undermine their position. We'll just put it that way. It is fraught with danger and potential missteps. We'll just leave it at that. You don't want to miss it. We will be right back with a hot saw.
STIHL Timbersports is gearing up for the 2025 season, celebrating 40 years of adrenaline-fueled logger sports history. Since 1985, the original extreme sport has grown from a U.S.-based event to the pinnacle series of global competitive woodchopping with athletes and competitions in over 20 countries worldwide. Get ready for an axe-exhilarating season filled with passion, precision, and pure power.
One more discipline left to go, and then we will have 12 qualifiers for the championship round tomorrow. 2025 STIHL Timbersports US Championships here in Milwaukee. That one final event is the most unpredictable and fraught with danger at every turn. We'll just leave it at that right there. It can change the total complexion of who makes it in and who makes it out. But only 4 are going to pass through at the end of it all. And before we get to that point, it's coming up next, the hot saw.
Hot saw. For the hot saw, power saws are called into action, and the athletes have a space of 15 centimeters to cut 3 complete discs off a 46 centimeter thick wooden block. Jumping the start or cutting over the line will result in a disqualification.
All right, we have had an extreme day here in the BMO Pavilion at German Fest. If you want to share your experience here, we're going to pop up a QR code to Instagram. Share those photos, tag STIHL Timbersports US. Let us know what kind of day. How are you guys feeling out there? I got my phone here. We're going to do a selfie. Let's get those orange flags up in the air. Let's feel it out here, Milwaukee. Let's see them. I got the t-shirt cannon. We'll get things rolling. There it is. Dave, you want to fire this thing or what? This thing is awesome. He's saying no. I'm not trusted with guns. Who wants a t-shirt out there? Let's see those flags. Let's see the hands. We got the Steins coming up. Oh yeah, we got to fire one over there. Let's see how this works. Whoa. We might be running out of gas. We're going to try another one. Keep cheering. Let's see the flags. Oh, come on. No, I'm not seeing anything I want to shoot at. Yeah, let's go. Up in the air. That was a better throw from you. Here we go. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a change of gas here. Well, you hear the hot saws, they're getting warmed up. We're getting ready to go. We're gonna see who the next 4 athletes who will punch their tickets to the finals here tomorrow, starting at 2 o'clock. You're definitely going to want to stick around tonight, though. Women in prime time for the U.S. title.
8 o'clock tonight, the Women's National Championships. And when we're looking at more world records, the world record keeps getting broken here. The women have broken. We're looking at the standing, potentially a new standing block record. And here's our overall leaderboard, Dave. Let's take a look at Pool C. Who's going to advance? Remember, 4 advancing, 4 out of 8. We have 8 athletes so far.
Yeah, and right now, Maddie Sling, Jason Lentz sitting pretty comfortable in first and second, but then it is a log jam as you get down the
Let's take a quick look at our overall standings as it stands right now. Remember, the top 4, the whole game is the top 4 spots here. If you're in the top 4, you move on to the championship. Matt Slingerland's pretty much wired this thing. I think Jason Lentz had the lead earlier, though. Jason Lentz right behind him. Ben nicely in 3rd place there. And Grant Foreman, the top 4 if it were to end right now.
Record broken here yesterday. Let's go for Heat 1 on the hot sauce. This is Brad Jones and David Moses Jr.
Well, Tommy, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit sad to say that this is shaping up. This is the last event for David Moses here in the Steel Timber Sports Series. But what an event to go out on. He is an exceptional saw operator. He's got that motor tuned beautifully. He's got it detailed beautifully, showing off his sponsor. We love to see that. We've loved all the years on this stage from David Moses Jr., and I can only hope he sends this out with an absolute bang.
I second that emotion for sure. Very much an important part of the scene for 3 decades, Timber Sports.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both saws light off. Rookie on the left, Veteran on the right. This is not how David Moses wanted to end it, with a cutout on his second cut. Brad Jones also hands on his head, showing disgust. We believe it's a line cut for Brad Jones. Flags flying. Both stands 1 and stands 2. I don't know, Tommy, mulligan, do it over?
Yeah, fine with me.
Yeah.
Never happened.
We all learned something. We'll move forward. Let's just do this again.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
Both cuts are bad.
Clearly the crowd in disagreement with Rich Hallett.
Yes.
Even though they were clearly bad from about a half mile away.
Yeah.
Still good to see him
a treasure tradition here.
That was dirty, Brad. Brad, we're going to keep you away from Rich Hallett and let you calm down. Brad, you had a great cut going, buddy. You've had a great day. You came in to that 3rd cut, slammed it in, and you just hit that 6-inch line. Tell us what you could have done different.
Taking a little more time on that 3rd one. That's about all it sums up to it. I moved the bar over too far. I had plenty of room. I had, shoot, to 3 inches probably. I just moved the bar over more than the saw, and it was crooked.
Hey, your first year in Steel Timber Sports. Most likely we're going to see you again, buddy. Tell us about your experience here in Milwaukee.
I'm loving it. Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here. Like I said, first cut. You know, I'm just glad to have made it into the top 8 with these guys. They're all phenomenal cutters, and you know, that was a goal of mine to just be here. And now I know I can at least semi-hold my own, even on a bad stretch.
All right, train up, buddy. We're going to see him again. Big round of applause for Brad Jones.
You want to get Moses? Well, disaster strikes both stand 1 and stand 2, but at different times. I'll turn your attention to stand 2 first, right here on this upcut. A little bit crooked setup for David Moses Jr. Tough times on stand 1 there on the third cut, on the down cut. Didn't have his power head squared up to the end of the log. You heard it from the man himself, Brad Jones. He had plenty of timber there, 3 inches to sneak that last cut in, but you've got to stay parallel to that line. Again, if the line is severed, if it's completely cut through, that is a disqualification. He deleted almost the entirety of that line.
So a couple of DQs to start. We hate to see that happen, but that is not unusual, not unheard of in the world of the hot saw. Hope we see better performances on the way. I know we will, but yeah, that's the unfortunate truth, and that's a precarious last event of the day.
Especially my father, who was my first coach, and then my children and grandchildren. I have 13 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. Well, David, it has been a pleasure, my friend. Awesome seeing you again. Give it up for David Moses, everybody! What a moment, Dave. What a moment.
All right, next heat of the hot saw, Arden Koger Jr. and Tyler White.
Two athletes that need this time. That's what just happened in Heat 1. It does benefit these two gentlemen coming up just on the outside. Boy, I'd love to see Arden Koger Jr. making it in the top.
Well, Tommy, the time to beat right now is all time.
No time, time.
We've set, yeah, just anything. Give us anything.
The time to beat is any measurement of time.
Yeah, 2 DQs right out of the gate. That's a tough break for Brad and David Moses Jr.
Well, here we go.
Warm up your saws.
Tyler White and Arden Koger Jr. Going to give it their best shot here.
I love what I see over on stand number 1. I don't want to call Arden Koger Jr. vintage or classic, but his hot saw certainly is. That is a good old Russ Lemke built Rotex powered hot saw. It is a twin. It is a cousin to the one I used to run. It's a twin or cousin to the one that Dave Jewett used to run, or still runs, I should say. It just is a classic performer in this hot saw event. Starting to get outpaced by some of the newer builds, but still a stalwart favorite in the hot saw.
See, they're turning on their boilers right at the last second.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Launch sequence activated. Tyler White very quick to the log. Trouble for Arden Koger Jr. It sounds like his saw is starving for fuel. He is all over the place and is not going to get 3 complete discs. Our veterans are falling apart on this stage.
Waiting for to get that bar into the wood and a disqualification, but I think Tyler White, and I heard you say, come on, Tyler, come on, buddy, and I think he heard you, Dave. Tyler White unofficially 3 good discs.
So Tyler White looking clean and green right now. No flag from Chris on stand number 2. Rich, our judge for stand number 1, obviously throwing a flag for Arden Koger Jr. Tyler White showing a time sub 7 seconds.
Who's the guy screaming out there? This guy's pumped up. There he is. This guy right here. Yeah, we gotta show up tomorrow. No, he's gotta show up tonight for the ladies.
DQ, incomplete disc. Your cut was good.
Good call for Tyler. Give him a big round of applause.
Tyler, buddy, You look like you jumped in a pool. Dave just told me this is the third hot saw you've owned. Is that a fact?
That is a fact.
Why?
Well, the first one blew up all the time. The second one was a little too slow. This one, we're getting there. So we're improving as we go.
And how do we improve? Is that a bigger piston? Is that better chain filing? Where do we go from here? Because, buddy, you made a great cut.
Well, I could have done that a little better because there was a little anticipation at the end on my part, which I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't. Better chain, and I need to tune it. It was a little fat out here, but it's really humid. So tuning, better chain, and I got to practice my starts.
All right, buddy, you're done for the day. You can have a beer. All we can do now is sit back. Absolutely.
Thank you, Dave.
There you go. Tyler White says, I am looking forward to a beer. Something tells me this guy down here's had a couple beers.
Well, let's watch this start from Tyler White. Looks pretty quick and clean. Nice thin disc. Boy, about as thin as you want to get in this hot saw event. Left him plenty of real estate though for his other two cuts. Did start to pull back a little prematurely. Arden Koger Jr., we missed the start here, but had all kinds of trouble, and he's trying to steer that saw up. I don't think it's running right. Didn't get complete cuts. Arden Koger Jr. not going to be happy with that run. Capable of significantly better with that saw.
All right, Tyler White, so far the only athlete to post a time, not too bad, 6.59. Tyler White finds himself in the top 4 right now, and you say, well, but there are two more heats to go. Well, look at the leaderboard right now.
Yeah, we're
anything can happen.
Yeah, we're headed towards batting 500 in this this pool when it comes to the hot saw. I don't know, just chaos everywhere.
Yeah, there's Tyler White. As we look at our overall standing, still Slingerland, Lentz, Nicely, and White. But Foreman is yet to cut. Lentz still to cut. Slingerland still to cut.
And how about another big shout out to our deck crew, Dave? They've been working hard all weekend. All these events keeping it flowing just flawless. Throwing those 9-foot springboard poles up. You don't even notice that they're there. They just don't get the recognition. Absolutely not. They are the best in the business. So fast, so efficient. Always have a plan. Give them a big round of applause. Let's hear it for the work crew.
All right, big heat coming up. Super Dave. And look at those hot saws. Those are brand new machines up there. When you're saying these are like $10,000 to $12,000 a piece now?
Boy, when I started, you got one for about $5,000, but there's so much. You know, back when I was in the game, 6 seconds was winning. You got into the 5s. It was unbelievable. Now we have 4 athletes that are in the 4s. The world record was broke here yesterday. 4.2 seconds with a 430cc engine. You've got to come back. Watch the women tonight at 8. Watch the men's finals at 2 o'clock tomorrow. You're going to see this 430 engine coming out looking for a second world title.
Absolutely. All right, Dave, who do we got coming up next?
We have the third heat. This is Grant Foreman and Ben Nicely.
Going to be Grant Foreman on stand number 1, Ben Nicely on stand number 2 here. The time to beat, a 6.59. This is the third heat of the hot saw here. The third of 4 heats. We are getting down to the short rows, as they say in the farming business.
Well, Tommy, stand number 1, Grant Foreman, I feel like he should always be there. He should be part of the hot saw conversation, and he is. He's done well, but I just feel like he should be dominating. He's got that logical, mechanical, engineering mindset in his approach to everything, and I'm wondering if we just got to see Grant just send it.
One thing we can look at the depth. Look at the bars, the difference. Everybody focuses on the engine, the chain. Look at the bar, so that's a fatter bar for Grant Foreman on the left. It's more to get out of the wood before the exchange. A thinner, shallower bar for Ben Nicely, and it's like
30 seconds.
floaters on the planet right now. That's one of them there on position 2. They've got the wraps around the waist to keep the jersey from getting sucked into the carburetor.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
We've got ignition, but we've got trouble for Grant Foreman as he hesitates at the top of that block. You can see him being very deliberate and setting up his cuts. Oh, I don't like the, we'll shut that thing. Oh.
It's going to be close.
Mighty thick stack of discs there on stand number 2.
Yeah.
That stays in his pocket. He's going to be lucky, and I'm going to tell you why in a second.
Lots of conversation here over stand number 2.
By Ben Nicely down there. There's laundry on the deck over there. You didn't see the flag fly?
Yeah.
Well, right now the flag is flown on Ben Nicely's side.
Ben Nicely, 2 discs.
They're going to review and not necessarily disqualification.
DQ on this stand, incomplete disc. Your cut was good.
Wow. So my concern was Grant Foreman, that saw was running. Grant Foreman came off, that saw was still full throttle, and that saw turned towards the crowd. There is a rule, you cannot have an active throttled saw turn towards the crowd. Judge made a decision, it wasn't dangerous enough. Stick around, big guy. That's a good cut, but they hyperanalyze these things. Grant, talk about that cut. Frankly, I don't know what you were waiting for, buddy. You had some hesitation. You were lined up, but you didn't like what you saw. You hesitated.
Yeah, I knew I needed to make 3 cuts, so I wanted to make certain that I was squared over the log. That's a big motor. When you hit the throttle, it will torque on you, so I wanted to make sure it was calm before it went in the wood. So I got the 3 cuts, and yes, I was aware of the rules, so before I kicked the disc, I made sure I didn't point it at the crowd.
Yeah, you caught it in time. I was watching that as well. Talk about this engine. I'm losing track of all you guys. Is it a 330?
That's a 370. So actually had a little issue with it last week where the crank was bent. Had to rebuild it over the weekend on Saturday with the help of some friends, including Cole Armbruster and some guys back home. So we got it rebuilt. It's running good. I was hoping to have do a full send today, but just needed 3 cuts, and it's cutting well.
I think we're going to be seeing you tomorrow. Let's wait officially. Big round of applause for Grant Foreman from Marysville, Ohio.
Tommy, not to be critical of Grant Foreman, but I think there's something in between the hesitation and the just try to get 3 cuts. There's a certain thing when you get out of your natural rhythm, you get out of that muscle memory, and you're sort of trying to steer it. It's the same thing in springboard. When you're laying in hits to cut a springboard pocket, you're like, boy, that's a really good pocket. I just need one little hit. And you try to carry or float that axe in. It's not part of your natural rhythm. So no, he didn't need full send, but establishing that rhythm and establishing a pace where you're just smooth, consistent, and comfortable, that would be my advice, I guess, from my high seat up here in the TV booth.
From Mount Olympus up here. Yeah, that first disc for Nicely was no-go. And, well, the Grant Foreman did himself a world of good to put 3 discs on the floor there, albeit a 9:29. Doesn't matter. He's going to get a time. Right now, he's got 7 points. There's your overall standings. Slingerland, Lentz riding high right now. Looking good for the top 4 to be sure.
Well, look at that. Even with a DQ, as it stands now, with a actually, it can't change. Yeah.
No.
With that DQ and Ben Nicely, he is still in.
Yeah.
What a day.
How about that?
For Ben Nicely.
Man, it's a great point.
Work out out just fine, a slow time, and he knows how to pick that up in the final.
Yeah, it'll pay dividends for him to get a nice clean cut unless these two finish behind White and in between them. This is gonna be tough right here. I know that Maddie is pumped up to have this saw fixed this week after having issues last week. And then Jason Lentz, I mean, this dude is an absolute animal in the hot saw. This is gonna be fun.
Well, let's bring him out to the final heat of the hot saw. Jason Lentz and Maddie Slingerland. And there's Maddie Slingerland on the right.
Well, this is it, the grand finale, final event of the final discipline here in the hot saw. Jason Lentz on stand number 1. Matt Slingerland, who's held the lead points-wise through the vast majority of today, on stand number 2.
And now he's got his own saw back. It's amazing they're so accomplished that they can take another athlete's hot saw and potentially win with it.
So what do? Take it easy, keep her down the middle, try to get the feel for tomorrow.
Yeah,
Warm up your
I go back to
saws.
what I said with Grant Foreman. I feel like there's a middle ground where you don't hover, you don't float, but you just kind of practice that rhythm. You practice that muscle memory. You get in that mindset. No, it doesn't need to be a blistering cut. You don't need to try to break a new record. You certainly could.
Yeah.
If you fell apart, it certainly doesn't hurt as long as you don't damage the machine.
Yeah.
But just getting into that rhythm, your start, you're up to the block. If you get in this mindset where I just need a safe cut, I just need 3 cuts, you start hovering over the log, you start steering the saw, that becomes your muscle memory. That becomes your norm. In my mind,
reset the
again,
machine.
Yes, in my mind, again, you just have to have your rhythm. You have to have your motions.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jason Lentz so fast off the wood. Oh, trouble for Maddie Slingerland, though. He does not at this moment have 3 cuts.
Nope.
I think well, if he's got line there, he's good. Yeah. Take a bow, Maddie Slingerland. Hey, you know what? That's the right attitude, though. He's got to be in the right mindset. This has been one of the things with Maddie Slingerland over the years is Maddie in his own head. And if you can take a moment like that and laugh at it a little bit, if you can celebrate it a little bit, he knows he doesn't need it, and he's just got to have this right mindset.
Did you see what happened with Slingerland? Yeah, he knows down to the first cut over there on position 2, but then went back, got the saw center, and delivered. With the 4th cut, the lucky rubber ducky for Sling, giving him some luck there to get some more points.
Both cuts are good.
Both these guys looking for replays. Come over here to see the replays,
Well, Jason, you know, you came flying out that first disc. I actually thought you almost hit the deck with that bar. Did you know how close you were to the deck when you pushed through that first cut? It was phenomenal entrance into the wood, and you time yourself. Isn't it about a 1.1 seconds you're shooting for?
Yeah, 1-1 off the go, and reaction time from hearing the go is like 2/10, so we try to jump that a little bit, time it out to where we're leaving right on 0-0-0.
That's phenomenal. We're going to keep you here. You're done for the day. You're going to be moving on. Talked about this replay here. This is your start.
Yeah, pretty good start. Hovered a little bit, and then, my back foot was a little too far back. Took me a little while to catch the motor, but, decent run.
What do you mean catch the motor? Meaning it just was more powerful than you expected? You could have put more weight on it?
No, we set ourselves up so as we come out of our first cut, that push plate hits on our thigh to come back in for our second cut, and I was just back a little too far. Used to cutting 20-inch at the Lumberjack World Championships last weekend. You have to stand back a little bit. It's a little lower, so an adjustment needs to be made. So.
Well, make that adjustment tomorrow in the finals. You're going to see this guy at 2 o'clock running that hot saw again. Great job today, Jason. I'd say unofficially winning the pool.
Well, here's that run from Maddie Slingerland up and into the wood. Looked great, but then nose out on that second cut. Actually almost missed that third cut. Gets it lined up. Not a lot of real estate. Grip, rip. Here we go. Down through. Line is left. Third cut complete. Time received. Which, in this pool today, where we literally didn't we bat 500? We had half of the field DQ. Here's that run from Jason Lentz. Let's watch this again. Watch the blur of his hands down to that saw to get it started, up and in. He did hover a little bit. Yeah, I'll give him that. And he said, again, he couldn't quite catch that saw against his thighs. Back leg was back a little bit too much. A little bit of a dangerous situation at the end. Came out, that saw kind of wanted to kick under the log. If it makes contact with the wood on the other side of that line or wipes the line off, that would be a DQ as well.
Jason's finishes with 3 victories in the 6 disciplines today and gets 41 points, which ties him with Matt Slingerland for the top spot in this qualifying here. Grant Foreman in 3rd place, and Ben Nicely, despite the DQ, as we mentioned there, is going to be your 4th qualifying competitor. Hats off to all these great competitors out here today in all of the pools. So I'm going to read it off to you here. We have our field set for the championships tomorrow. It includes Tristan Van Beek, Trevor Beaudry, Dakota Robarge, Nate Hodges, Mark Beauquin, Cassidy Shear, Alexander Storm, and Matt Koger. And joining them will be Ben Nicely, Grant Foreman, Matthew Slingerland, and Jason Lentz. You're 12th, shooting for the championship tomorrow, the STIHL Timbersports 2025 Men's Individual Championship. All of our competitors through all of these pools here, they worked very hard just to make it here, just to be among the 24 who showed up here. And we appreciate their efforts. We appreciate these practitioners of the original extreme sport. 40 years of STIHL Timbersports. We'll have a new U.S. champion tomorrow. See you at 2 Central.